As you may well know, I am many things. An art dealer, an accomplished fencer, fair shot with most weapons. I am loved and respected by all who know me. Slightly. But I have always felt there's something missing, you see, some final piece of my personal puzzle. I needed something bold, distinctive, I think so. The work of art which I could declare to the heavens, I am Lord Charlie Mordecai, and this little bit of magic is my moustache. Shall we to business, then, Fang? Would you mind? Find, you said. Find, I have done. Changlong vase. Very, very rare.
Low-fired with an immersion glaze?
None of the Southern Yankee ceramics are low-fired, but you know that. You're testing me. I'm so terribly sorry. Mosquito, you see it? Why don't you test the vase instead? I am sure that you will agree. It is a bargain at £2 million.
Everyone knows you're broke. You will take $1 million.
Oh, golly, that was a big one. Well, have it your way, Fang. £1 million. I trust that you have brought the treasuries.
I think I'll keep the money. And the vase.
How is that?
You cheated me in our last deal.
I've had your...
I paid $3 million for that tapestry and found out it is worth only $1. You took from me. Now I will take from you.
Now you look here, Fang. Fat. Take that. I'm an art dealer, not a charlatan. A rogue, perhaps. A scamp, a scoundrel, I will grant you. But never an outright mountebank.
Enough! You owe me. I believe a finger would be fair. Don't you?
No! Oh. John!
I wouldn't, mate. I really wouldn't.
Now! Jockey, thank heavens. Where have you been, man?
Right behind you as always, sir. It's a privilege, sir.
Jock, you're ablaze. Well, I think our work here is done.
Time to go, sir.
Jock laid out the state of our financial affairs. Basically, they involved debt. Massive, crushing debt. We hurried back to Mordecai Manor, where my beloved wife, Joanna, having heard of our financial distress, was arriving home to sell off some of my prized possessions. Even my horsehair picture was on the block. But I was hopeful my new moustache would cheer her up.
Darling. Oh, God, I missed you terribly.
Joanna, love of my life, apple of my eye.
God, I so wish you'd been there. Can you imagine? The two of us in that frigid city, only our passions keeping us warm. What is that?
Just a little something I cooked up whilst you were away, my darling. I do believe it was Maggie Thatcher who said that kissing a man without a moustache is rather like eating an egg without salt.
Don't point that thing at me.
Told you.
I have put no inconsiderable thought and effort into this endeavour. You see, the domain of a man's upper lip is his sovereign ground.
You have 5 minutes to shake it off.
Every Mordecai man before me had the same. Why can't I? Oh, I happen to be terribly fond of it, and I have had every intention of seeing it through.
You mean it's going to get bigger?
It will come to fruition, yes.
Darling. You really won't shave it off?
Oh, well, I can't, my duck. Not at this juncture. It's not even fully cooked. It's a baby.
Jock,
Yes, madam.
please will you make up the guest bedroom for Mr. Mordecai?
Already have, madam.
And I shan't be having dinner downstairs this evening. I'll just have a supper tray in my room.
Very good, madam.
Oh, I do believe Jock has informed you that we are staring down the barrel of insolvency. What do you plan to do about it?
Right. Yes, well, that... Well, quite.
First thing we're doing is selling off that Sheridan.
Oh, my sweet little love beast, I am sure that we will come up with the necessary funds by the end of the month. What is today? 5th?
The 26th, sir.
Well, right, that gives us 6...
4 days, sir.
Jock, please can you take the Sheridan up to London in the morning? I'm entering it in the Autumn Masters auction.
Aye, madam.
Come, let's not be rash.
Oh, hello,
We cannot go about selling
Poppet.
off family heirlooms willy-nilly. I'm afraid I shall have to put my foot down, darling.
Sorry?
With your permission, of course. Bugger it. Oh, there he is. She'll come around, Jock. How could she not?
She's only human, sir.
A quick aside about Jock. In addition to being my manservant and thug, he also maintains an enviable rate of sexual intercourse, which can be occasionally problematic. Recently, after we'd concluded the sale of a painting to a wealthy turkey farmer... What was that?
Get your head down, sir.
What have you done now, man? Onward, Jock, onward! Don't shoot, farmer!
Dad, what the hell are you doing? Don't wait, Doc! I have my own apartment.
Crikey, man. The farmer's daughter?
I only gave it a once over.
Where do you find the time?
Sorry, twice over.
Dear, sweet, simple Jock. Every man should have a Jock, don't you think? Meanwhile, not far away, our fortunes were about to become intertwined with one of the art world's greatest mysteries. And a dead hag.
Bullseye.
Mr. Owen? Everything all right?
Get back behind the tape. Excuse me. This is a crime scene. Hello? Who is this guy?
You and your men have done an admirable job stomping all over the place. Your services are no longer required.
Sorry, Inspector Martland, sir. Sorry, sir, I had no idea, sir. Can I have all Thames Valley police officers back in their cars, please? There's been a jurisdictional change.
The painting could be anywhere by now, sir.
Yes, I suppose it could.
You know we're going to have to ring him, don't you, sir?
No, I do not know that, Maurice.
No one knows the filthy underside of the art world better than he, sir.
He is the filthy underside. Why did it have to be art?
Inspector Alistair Martland, MI5. Martland and I met at Oxford. Once in a while, I provide him with some off-the-record help with the seedier side of art collecting. And in exchange, he gives me a wide berth to ply my craft. He is also desperately in love with my wife. Rather annoying, really.
What?
Inspector Martland, sir.
What does that blighter want? Tell him to ring back when my marriage isn't falling apart.
No, he's here, sir.
He is? All right. Wheel him in. Don't get up. I wasn't going to. Beware the carafe on the top shelf. It contains water. Ignoring some of the more inviting bottles on the drinks tray, he reached underneath for the big decanter and poured himself a gross amount of what he thought was my Taylor 31. Score one for Mordecai, for I had filled it with an invalid port of unbelievable nastiness.
Oh, excellent.
Score two.
Bit of cheese to go with that.
I should think the special one, Jock.
What is that infernal thing on your lip?
Is there a purpose to your presence?
You're in the hole to Her Majesty's government to the tune of 8 million quid, old boy.
I had no idea I was so deep in Her Majesty's hole.
That's not natural.
What do you think?
Ooh. I think this woman has need of a chiropractor.
Bronwyn Fellworthy, Oxford art restorer. Did you know her?
Slightly. I do recall a vague memory of her having once, involuntarily, one would hope, releasing a fart of such frightening power and timber that I feared she had done herself a horrible mischief.
Cheese.
Thank you. 3 months ago, a small Spanish museum sent her a Goya to be cleaned. Last night she was killed. Painting has disappeared.
Sad news, particularly for her, but I don't see what it has to do with me.
Well, if my men start asking questions, then the Goya disappears without a trace. But you, a known trafficker of stolen art, well, you could make some inquiries.
Why would MI5 be interested in the theft of a middling Goya?
Emil Strago, fundamentalist revolutionary, trained in Syria, fought in Senegal, an expert in special warfare. He's linked to a number of terror attacks all around the world.
All right, he's unpleasant. What of him?
Well, we believe he entered the country with the purpose of finding that painting.
Why?
We don't know why. But if Strago is involved, well, suffice it to say, it's a matter of urgent national security.
And you would like me to find it before he does?
Precisely. I've given you a lot of rope over the years, Charlie, but now you're dangling off the end of it. Help me find that painting. or I'll have the magistrate open that file and prosecute at random.
It was a catalogue of some of my more unseemly escapades. The file was fat and well handled, like a Welsh barmaid. It is apparent that you are well versed in the stick, but what of the well-known carrot? What's in it for me, as they say?
Good God, man. You're talking about a bloodthirsty extremist threatening the lives of your countrymen. Well, if you won't do it for me, do it for Queen and country.
No. All right, Queen and country, travel and living expenses, reasonable overhead.
10%, sir.
And 10% of the insurance money as a finder's fee.
Done. Oh, and incidentally, I asked for some cheese, not an instrument of biological warfare.
Score one for Martland. Martland, what else can you tell me about Straga?
Well, he's colourblind and he's allergic to cashews.
Goody. He'll be subject to the crown and every cashew of the kingdom shall sleep safely.
Joanna, you look lovely.
Alistair.
Oh, you do look lovely, darling, so absolutely lovely.
I thought that was you.
Radiant.
Martland also met Joanna at school. After a 3-year courtship, he finally worked up the courage to express his feelings to her in verse.
Joanna, do you...
Oh!
Rotten timing for him.
Oh, hello! Would you mind terribly to avoid the doors? Of course, I just managed to get them to outside.
Now, what's all this about a missing Goya? Oh, it's the house. Terribly vast. Echoey, don't you know?
Well, that's classified information, I'm afraid. You know, state secrets and what have you.
My husband is trying to reclaim his youth by growing that horrible moustache. Do inform him that that ship has sailed.
Every Mordecai man before me has had one, and I will have you know that some members of the fairer sex do find it quite appealing.
Whom, exactly?
Well, no one in particular, of course. A metaphoric woman. Women, metaphorically, general, you know.
If you are growing that excrement on your lip to please another, know this. I will kill her. Oh, Alistair, it's so lovely. Do come back. It's so wonderful to have someone with reasonable intelligence to converse with.
I'd be delighted. Do I detect a slight crack in the marital armor?
A mere tiff, oh, Bean, nothing more.
No, really, it seems like more than a tiff to me.
My wife needs to come round to a certain viewpoint, that is all.
Well, good luck, mate. See if we can dig up about that Goya. Usual channels. We'll meet in London tomorrow.
Of course. I had the painting in my hands. Someone must have known I was coming. Milton Krempf, the American? Then it must have been his dealer. Krempf's dealer. What is his name? Mordecai.
Joanna, my darling, my love, my only true love, my love beast, my rump-srum rascal. Oh, you have no idea the beast you're about to receive. Oh. Joanna, are you all right in there, darling? It is I, Charlie. Your husband.
What is it?
O moon of my delight. This is your own personalized Sheikh of Araby who seeks admission into your tent. I have come to carry you off to the burning desert and work my greasy will upon you. Under the tropical stars. Send your camel to bed, damn it!
My sheikh. Does this mean you have excommunicated that moustache of the Prophet?
I'll trim it. Darling, I am embarking on a very dangerous escapade from which I may not well return. And it is customary in these situations for, you know, proper send-off, quick session of Congress. Sink the Bismarck, if you will. And by the way, did I mention it is a matter of national security?
It's very difficult for me as well, you know. This thing that's come between us.
I know, darling. No, steady yourself. I beg you, darling, please. You know I have a sympathetic gag reflex.
Oh, God. It's unbearable.
You will get used to it, I promise.
Why should I have to?
I'm invested in it.
Why can't you invest in saving us from financial ruin? Or do you want me to sort it out for you?
Heavens, no. You needn't worry yourself. I have things firmly in hand. My love, you are killing me, please.
It looked like you have a vagina on your face.
Surely you mean the pubic hair above a vagina. I simply cannot get my head round that image.
Oh, Charlie.
However, now that you've mentioned it, I'm unable to steer my mind away from it.
Go stuff a mattress with that thing. The moustache, I mean.
Jockey, what if it isn't just a tiff? What if this is the well-known it, as it were?
That'd be awful.
Joe! Are you coming back to bed?
Yeah, give us a minute, love.
Hi.
Hello. And myself sleeping alone. How do you think this makes me feel, man?
I don't know, sir.
Dash it all, I am resolved. If it is money we need, then it is money we shall have.
That's me.
Tomorrow we shall sell off the rolls to that vulgar American Milton Cramp. And we will find that painting if it is the last thing we do.
Rightio, I'll call Spinoza in the morning.
Yes, do.
Good night, sir.
Jock,
Yes, sir.
do you think it will be all right in the end?
I couldn't say, sir.
My first stop was to see Sir Graham Archer, rival art dealer and Goya specialist. A permanent fixture at Sedgwick's auction house in Kensington. I will meet you at Spinoza's in 1 hour.
Right you are, sir.
Sir Graham has been the rudest man in England for years. Recently, he's been working his way up to the wickedest.
Looks like something curled up and died on your lip. It's not herpetic, I hope.
Hello, Sir Graham, you old member. Ooh, who are you hiding in your belly?
I see you've put your Sheridan up in next week's sale. Hard times, old boy.
No. Just getting rid of some choice items while the market's right. What do you make of this Bronwyn business, eh?
Huh. Ghastly affair. One always bemoans the loss of a great restorer. Old bag. She should have put locks on her doors.
You used her frequently, didn't you?
Not lately. She's been unavailable for 3 months.
The Goya she was cleaning. Rather simple job, wouldn't you say?
Usual dirt and grime one finds on the Spaniards. I'm the foggiest why it took her so long. What's your sudden interest, if I may ask?
Client with a mild curiosity. That's all. We must go shooting again. Jock has fully recovered.
There's only one reason you might be interested in a museum-owned Goya, and that's because there's money involved.
You are mistaken, sir. There is a great deal of money involved.
I have always admired your rapacity, sir.
I say, Sir Graham, I wonder, your protrusion, might it be possible to swing the old fellow north, as it were?
Who's the client?
Terribly sorry, sworn to secrecy. Perhaps a brisk walk down the stairs would do some good. Yes.
So it's that sort of Goya.
Romanov?
Доброе утро. That painted lady you've been searching for, I believe she may be in play.
I want that painting.